Renee, high five for being the first one on. I know we are a couple minutes early, so when anybody watches the recording of this, we started it and it started recording 5 minutes early, so you can fast forward for a bit if you're watching the recording. Just gonna check all the pages to make sure I didn't miss any of the questions. Siena's on. All right, we have about 3 minutes till we start. We're just gonna wait a little bit. We'll probably wait till like 2-3 minutes after 9 to get started. Just wait for people to jump on. I know we put all the reminders out in the groups. We're super pumped that you are joining us. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day.
No problem. I'm happy to be a part of it as well.
And congrats, I see you signed on as a coach.
I did. It was something that I was really reluctant about at first just because of my school schedule. I'm taking online classes starting in August for the first time, and then with modeling, it's like a lot.
I'm sure.
But I had friends and family like saying, hey, we want to do the program with you. And I'm like, well, if they're going to be buying it, they might as well get it from me. And if they're going to have a coach, I might as well help them. So
Perfect. I know you're going to love it. And you'll find, as everybody that's jumping on tonight, we all just fit it in pockets. So you'll do great. And I saw that your coach, I just like stalked your Instagram stories like crazy today. And your friend looks like she's pretty involved. So you've got a great coach getting you started. You'll be in good hands.
I love Jessica. She was one of the modifiers for Cour de Force. And then she worked behind the scenes during MM100. So she was there with me every day. And I was like, you know what? She's been here from the start. My day one, she was sitting there when I was crying in the hallway saying I couldn't do this. So
that's well good. I'm glad you got her. I know. I think I don't know how much you guys got to see of all of us in the test group, but the last like 3 days were so ridiculously emotional. Like tears on top of tears. And I'm not a crier, and it has opened up like some type of floodgate because now I cried 100 times at the summit. Like everything, that any small feat, any big feat, I'm like, that's just such an amazing accomplishment.
I know, like the last couple days of rehearsal, like we were all just between like shots, we were just all crying together, and I'm like, we're gonna miss each other so much. And we have a group chat on Instagram, and cast talks every day. It's just like,
oh, that's awesome. All right, so peeps are signing on here. We've got 11 on, and I know we've got more coming.
I love your sweatshirt.
This Jamie Shepard was in the test group, and she had these made. So we got we ordered them. We have this. It's like a crop top sweatshirt. I just have a t-shirt on. I was like, I gotta put something on for Morning Meltdown. Everything was sold out at the core, so I didn't get anything when I got there. Yeah, but then on the back it says MM100 pilot test group. So,
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
All right, guys. I see everyone signing on. Again, for anybody who actually catches the recording of this, I jumped on 5 minutes early, so you're going to have about 5 minutes of just Siena and I talking. So you can hang out and hear that, or you can, obviously if you've gotten to this point, you've gotten through that already. But we are going to start in just a few minutes. And if you're on and you're representing your team, just remind them, or not remind them, but when the recording comes out, please post it in your team pages. And if you're one of our potential customers that's in the group, we're super excited that you're here. And we will also post the recording in our launch group. So it'll be coming your way. All right, we'll wait 2 more minutes. We'll wait till 9:03. I do that at my day job. I always wait 3 minutes to get started for everyone to sign on. Everybody's muted, so if you do have questions, make sure you unmute yourself when the time comes. Okay. Starting to see all the faces. And I'm going to guess if you are a potential customer, you're afraid to put your video on. But I encourage you to put your video on, because what better way to get to know everyone that you're going to be working with over the next 100 days than just putting your face right on screen.
Yeah. Commit.
Commit.
Yes.
Be brave. Yeah, say yes.
Why do you always wear that hat when you get on calls? I'm like, because I don't do my hair.
Yeah. Well, Siena just said right before we started, she goes, I hope you don't mind. My hair's wet. And I said, I hope you don't mind. Mine's dirty. So.
Yeah. It's like, no need to get fancy for these ever.
I told her we're all worn out from Summit.
I bet that looked like wild time.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. And then talk about emotions. It's just like celebrating success after success after success, and like seeing what people go through. And then you're so inspired that you get home. Like, I wanted to sleep, but I was like, I can't. I got too much to do. I went straight to work. And then today it hit me where I was like, oh my God, this is like, since the test group started, when did we start? March 16th, Katie?
Yeah.
I have only not worked out at between 5 and 6 a.m. 2 different times. And today was one of those times. I was like, it's happening at lunch.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are going to jump in and get started. So first off, thank you so much, everybody who joined the meeting tonight. We just put it on a couple days ago, so we really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to hear Siena speak a little bit about her experience with Morning Meltdown 100. And if you think she looks familiar, she most likely does if you shop at Target, because we all do. And she was part of their swimsuit campaign. So it's exciting to see a familiar face when you're looking for a swimsuit. So Siena's your girl. And she was one of the modifiers for Morning Meltdown 100. So you guys have all heard us say there's 2 modifiers. There's a modifier and there's a modifier of the modifier. And I think you're going to hear a lot of great insight from Siena today. I do have about 10 questions that I was able to pull from some team pages and from my challenge group as well. So I'll get to those, but I just wanted to hear if you wanted to, just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you and your experience with the program.
Well, I'm Siena. I grew up in a really small town, and then I moved to LA for modeling, and then somehow ended up at a Beachbody casting. I had no commitment to fitness. Like, exercise was literally the worst thing I could think of. I just viewed it as punishment. I was punishing my body for what it's not, what it doesn't look like, what it can't do. And after MM100, it's just now like going to the gym is like a celebration of what I can do and how far I've come. When I got the call that I was going to be a modifier for it, I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, I couldn't even show up for myself for one day. How am I going to do 100? And it just totally shifted my perspective, my life, my healthy habits. It's just definitely a game changer, a pivoting point for anyone at any level. Like, you don't have to worry about like feeling lost.
That's awesome. And I remember Jericho had said that you hadn't worked out before doing the program. And you just told us a little bit about, you were scared about not being able to show up for one day, let alone 100. So what pushed you through on those days where you just felt like, oh God, I got to do this again?
Personally for me, it's a little different because it was my job. So it wasn't like I could call in sick and be like, so that was something that was driving, but also realizing you're the most important person in your life. And if you're not going to show up for yourself, who is? How can you expect things from other people if you can't even do it for yourself? So that was another thing that was very driving. It was like, I have this great opportunity, and now you guys have this opportunity to change your life in different aspects, not just physical, not just on the scale, but like I have more energy in my day. I don't drag out of bed. I don't dread doing things that I require physical activity. And yeah.
All right. So, I'll go through the questions, and then if it kind of sends us to a different route, you just take the stage and run with it. Okay.
Okay.
So actually one of the girls in my group, she actually, I think Christina's on, I see her. She just signed on as a coach with the release of Morning Meltdown 100. And she is super pumped about getting started with the full 100 days. She just finished the first 10. And her question was, you're very flexible. And I remember Jericho's talked about how flexible you are as well with holds and things like that. So how, what contributes to your flexibility? Do you do a lot of yoga, or do you have any tips to help increase flexibility or improve flexibility?
So I've just been naturally flexible my entire life. I did gymnastics maybe for like 3 months when I was a kid. And that's like the only thing I've been able to do is like stretching. I never did yoga. I have miniature goats, so we jokingly do goat yoga, but not like anything serious. But definitely stretching after a workout. I think I've even gotten more flexible from even where my starting point was, because like if I did do a workout, if I would never stretch afterwards, and then your muscles just like
Yeah, I'm still trying to do a freaking split from the workouts. Maybe I'll do them after the second set of 100 days, because my hamstrings.
Yeah, I think also just not setting a time frame for your body. Don't say, I want to be able to do it by this point, because if you keep working at it, you're going to get there eventually. So.
Wow. I was always a person that was skipping yoga day, like every program, skip yoga. And then like Siena said, I was always skipping the stretch after 2. It was like the second the workout was done, I was off editing a video or making a post on social media, and I was always skipping that. And really like the 100 days, I told myself, obviously, because like Siena said, like her being in the cast, like us being in the test group too, it's pressure to be like, I have to do this correct, perfect, like exactly how it's laid out. So I did not skip any of those days. And like Alyssa, my split is not down, but it will be. But it did improve so much. And just my flexibility in general, it was like mind blowing. And just to see videos like from the start to the end was pretty insane.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
yes, I agree. Revive is so good.
Yeah, Katie and I have videos of us trying the splits too, so maybe we'll get them by the end of the next round.
What's insane is Dane in the cast will totally just be dancing it out and just like from standing just jumping down into a split. I'm like, I have to work to get there, and you just totally just laid it out.
Yeah. He's got some dance moves. I've been following him as well.
He's amazing. His energy is just so contagious. Like if I'm dying during the workouts, I look at him because he's just sitting in the back going, yeah, and just like pumped.
That's great. That's good. And everyone will love that, because I think one thing that's really cool is the cast. Every single cast member is so different. So you can relate to somebody in that class. And like, I always looked at it as a group fitness class. Like I was like, well, I actually felt like I was at my local gym taking a really cool class. So I hope that, a lot of people will be able to feel that way when they do the workouts as well.
We'd love for everyone to feel so included.
So with some of the other questions we got in the test group or in the groups that we had posted, some people, actually a lot of people had asked, and a lot of people have messaged me on social media asking this question. What's your suggestions, coming from the modifier point of view, what's your suggestions for people who are pregnant, if how they would be able to modify some of the moves as well?
Well, I've never been pregnant, so I don't think I can give from that point of view. But there are definitely a lot of options for anyone at any level. So like I couldn't even do a push-up. So we started at that. And for someone that literally had no commitment, did nothing, like couldn't run for 30 seconds without like collapsing and be like, there's Val. So like if Val is doing mountain climbers as the modification for Bolt, I'll be on my knees in tabletop and just tapping one foot back at a time. So
Perfect.
There's literally 3 levels of modification.
And did I hear that your feet never leave the ground? Like you never do the jumps or anything like that? Or one of you don't?
That is correct.
Okay.
I don't. I always have 1 foot on the ground.
Perfect. Okay.
So, I couldn't do a split knee run jump at the beginning. At the very end I could, but we just very, very end, that was like the last thing, because I was so afraid to try it. And that's another thing, like you get so afraid to try things, you'll be like, oh, I could never do that, I don't think I could. It's all mental sometimes you just have to try it out, and if you fail, that's okay. Like you gave it your 100%.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys did them, because I think that those jumps are scary. They're scary for people who have never worked out. They're scary for people who do work out. I know a couple people were worried about knees and backs and things like that. So even though they were in tip-top shape, knowing that they didn't have to go all out in that jump and risk an injury, if they didn't have the proper form, they were grateful. So it's nice that there's so many choices.
Yeah. I think it's also really great that modifications, some people think that taking the modification is taking the easy way out, and it's really not. You're still working the same muscle groups, you're still giving it your 100%, and if my 100% looks different than Pete or Deja's or Dustin's or Jericho's, that doesn't matter because it's still my 100. And I think that's a really great thing about this program.
That's awesome. That's actually really great to hear, and I'm happy to share that with people, because everybody I've talked to that do the workouts, that don't do the workouts, that are friends of mine or family members, are like, how the heck are you doing that? Why do you keep taking jumping pictures? And I'm like, well, 1, because they're fun, and 2, because it's just such a great challenge. And I think that that's really neat, and it's cool because if you would have seen everybody at Summit, anywhere you went, someone was taking the Jericho jump, like everywhere. All right. And then, oops, did I lose you? Oh, there you are. Got muted. Hold on. Okay. Somehow you got muted.
You said, Siena, about
flip to the side.
What's that?
Oh, I said Siena got muted somehow and flipped to the side, but now she's back. Okay.
Okay.
I love how Siena said about just trying a move too, because really for me, I've been working out for 6 years, and I've been at every point 60 pounds overweight, best shape of my life, pregnant, postpartum, and really through all of that, I jump back and forth between full intensity and modifiers still. There's still moves that I do that are modified, but it's so hard to like get past that limiting belief of like if you've been doing, say, push-ups on your knees forever, and it's like at one point are you just like, hey, maybe I'll just get up on my toes? And that was kind of something that happened with me. I have wrist issues as well, but during the program I just remember at one point being like, let me just try, like let me just get up on my toes and see what happens. And I was busting out push-ups, and I'm like, what is happening right now? this is crazy. So definitely, like, don't be afraid, like if you are following modifications, to do 6 reps of something modified and then throw in on that 7th one doing something maybe outside of your comfort zone a little bit, and not feel guilty that you're backing down back then, because like I said, I flip back and forth with watching the modifier and going full out, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And I know there's a few other members from the test group too. So if you guys, have other things to add in too, feel free. But back to some of the questions. So did you guys get to hear from the nutrition team? What did you happen to follow the morning meltdown 100 plan, the containers, or 2B mindset?
So we met with one of the Beachbody nutritionists at the beginning of it. I think we all kind of followed different things, and I kind of stuck with the portion cuts just because like I wanted to learn about portions, because as someone who's never fully committed to like doing something, eating wise, like yeah, I did like Whole30, and I'm just trying to move away from like that kind of like diet culture mindset and move on to just something that's more organic, and not like organic as in food, but more like genuine of like, hey, I want to fuel my body instead of just eating whatever's in front of me. And so I wanted to learn about what portions were right for myself and that kind of stuff. I know a lot of the other cast members did the portion cup like containers as well.
Oh, that's good to know. Did Jericho give any tips on nutrition, or she kind of seems to be more towards that side of intuitive eating and things like that?
Yeah, she's more towards, from what I gathered, more towards the intuitive eating, which is where I'm trying to move to. Just being more mindful of what I'm putting in my body. And I was borderline diabetic when I started this, so like I know for myself, I was like, hey, I want to cut down on sugars and like that kind of stuff. So I think we all kind of had personal goals along with that. And I'm like, I'm awful at drinking water, so maybe this week I'm going to try to drink this much water every day, and not focusing like only on eating. Like, yeah, it's really important, but if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, if you're not drinking the right amount of water, like if you're not taking care of your mental health, it's all part of it. You can't just focus on these two things are going to make my life perfect. No, it's like all these different components, and you have to take care of yourself as a whole.
That is awesome. And that's a good segue into my own personal question. Did you guys get to use the books?
They were kind of still in production. So we got like a very preliminary version of it, which is still great. Still, I'm really excited to dive into the actual book now and see its final phase.
Nice. Yeah, because you bring up a good point, like with the whole picture. And I think 100 days is so daunting to somebody who is like, oh my God, I've never committed to anything for that. And we have so many 21-day programs that people think that you start, you stop, you start, you stop. And once you get to the end of 100 days, you don't want to stop. Like, you're like, no way, I've come way too far. There's no way I'm going to.
Yeah.
So I think the book goes hand in hand, because you really have to connect. I think, one thing we all felt was the connection between like the mind, the body, how we felt that day, how we rated our workout that day. So I'm glad to hear you guys felt that way too.
Yeah, and I love that starting your day off right. Like, you're getting your workout done in the morning, like if that's conducive to your schedule. So like life does happen. If you're in the middle of your day and something comes up, you don't have to be like, oh my God, I gotta try to fit my work in now, and that becomes a stressor, or you don't do it. Like, it's already done. You already got the energy. You're good to go.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I'm a morning person naturally, so I was pumped about that. But I know a lot of people, normally I don't fit in the norm there. So I think
how about the pictures they had us take? Like they would have us take these like selfies in the morning to like show what you look like rolling out of bed, and everyone was all like groggy and tired, and Alyssa's like the most excited selfie. I'm like, no, that is not
it's like it's too early for that.
Yeah.
Like, man, I was like, everyone looks so dead, and I just want to hug y'all.
Oh my God.
All right. And so we all have major girl crushes on Jericho. She's the best.
Same.
Got to know her through Les Mills, really, but through Core de Force. A lot of us we relate to her on the mom front, and then a lot of us just relate to her on the, we want to, Amy said, I'm too hype in the morning. But, everyone just wants a piece of her. Like, she's just such a genuine human. She's so sweet. What was it like to work out with her every day?
It was amazing. Like, I don't know any other way to describe it. She is just this wonderful, joyful, always like has a very humble heart and is like always wanting to help you. And I think that's amazing because working in the modeling industry, you see some pretty ugly hearts. So to be on set with someone every day that was just so grateful to be there, so grateful to have us there, that was just really amazing. And she was just literally the most like radiant person, and it was just contagious. Like if you were having a bad day, you couldn't around her. Like she would just put you in a good mood.
That's awesome. How bad's her mouth? Because I was surprised to hear the F rocket as many times as I heard it.
Wait, what?
I said, how bad does she really swear? Like when she's not filtered? Because we heard the F rocket times.
I don't know. Because we kind of all were on set. So it just kind of all blended together at some point.
Oh, that's amazing. That's okay though. That's okay. And what would you say out of all 10 workouts, which one's your favorite?
Mine would be Fight Club. I grew up doing martial arts for 10 years. I wanted to quit, but then my dad was like, no, you're going to go till you're at least a black belt. And I made it to brown belt, like my beginning year of college. And I really, really wanted to quit. So I just started scheduling classes during the time I had karate. Like, oh, Dad, it's the only time it's offered. So, but I think doing this program, I kind of found a new love for it, a new appreciation, because like it was something that I knew and it's something that I could like, it was familiar and I could just go in and crush it. And sometimes you just need that workout that you like feel good in. Like, yeah, some are hard and you feel good after, but like the ones that you feel good during are like your favorites. And I think that would be Fight Club for me.
Yeah, Fight Clubs is amazing. I said that was one of the best core workouts I've ever gotten.
Yes. Oh.
So you kind of already said it, but maybe in some formal words, what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting that wants to do this program?
Don't believe you're gonna fail because you're not. If you just show up for yourself that one day, don't worry about the 100. Like that's a big, overwhelming number. Just take it a day at a time. Show up for yourself that one day. Next day, do it again. Just keep showing up for yourself one day at a time. And I think that's really a good thing because if you get so overwhelmed, I have anxiety. Like I'm an anxious person. I get overwhelmed easily. So when I saw 100, I was and trying to wrap my head around committing to that many workouts, like, it's a lot. But if you just take it a day at a time and just breathe through it, you have your people to keep you accountable. I think that's a good way to go for it. And yeah, you're not going to fail because you're your number one. So
love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And we already asked if you did any of the advanced moves, and you said you did towards the end.
I didn't do them on screen. I did them off screen. So I will be there for modification of the modifier the entire time. Like I'll never leave anyone alone.
Good. That's good though. That's important to hear because there's just so many people that quit or don't even try because they think it's too hard and they don't realize that there's so many different options and literally you could just dance and you're still moving and burning calories.
Dance it out with Jesse. Like that's my favorite modification because he's just over there grooving and you're just like, yes, sir, you're my person.
Yeah, his music was unbelievable. All right. And then here's some fun questions. Are you team lemon or fruit punch for Energize?
I'm a fruit punch kind of gal.
Interesting.
And I think Steph was a lemon gal, but most of us were fruit punch. They'd have it out on the table right before our workouts, and I would just be like, nope, fruit punch is for me. And like the containers would run out so much faster than the lemon ones.
Katie said fruit punch with vodka on the weekend. That I would do. I'm a lemon girl myself. So I know little behind the scene information for you guys that don't know, the workouts were filmed in less than 100 days for production reasons. So some days you guys had to do 2, and there are some people who are going to stack these workouts. So one fun question: did you take Energize before each workout, or did you just take it once at the beginning? And what were those days like when you had to do both workouts?
So it depends on the day. Some days I did take Energize twice, but it was because we had like lunch in between and a couple hours to prep. So it wasn't like back to back. We were like, I'm gonna take Energize now, do a workout right when I work out, and we're gonna take Energize again. I'm also a really big coffee drinker, like pretty addicted. So if I didn't drink Energize, I would drink a cup of coffee right before a workout, because I think it's like if you drink it 15 minutes before your workout, like the peak of caffeine from your coffee will be like right during your workout or something. I don't really remember. I just drink coffee like nonstop.
Yeah, I have a lot of challengers that are like, well, I've never had a cup of coffee, so I don't like how it tastes. But like everyone's like, can't I just drink coffee beforehand? And I'm like, but Energized is just so delicious. Like, why don't you?
Energize is something else. I will tell you, like, I never took pre-workout because like I didn't work out, so no need to. But I noticed I sweat more, and then I have an Apple Watch, and I actually burn more calories. Like I notice when I take pre-workout versus when I don't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I don't know if it's just like
yeah, well, you figure that's what it's there for. It's supposed to give you the extra boost to help you work out a little bit harder. So I've never thought about doing a workout without it and seeing what my calorie burn was, because I'm team Apple Watch myself. But I think, that actually is a great thing to pull out too with people who use trackers. There's some workouts that are only 18 minutes. Obviously, when you have an 18-minute workout, you're going to get your butt handed to you. And people would be like, but I only burned 180 calories and I was lifting weights. And it's just because you don't burn that many calories while you lift weights. But I don't know if you guys talked to, like, if Jericho went into this detail, like I saw Autumn go into these types of details with 80 Day. Did Jericho go into like the science behind why you don't burn as many calories on a weightlifting day as you do maybe a high intensity cardio day? Did she kind of cover that stuff with the cast at all?
I personally don't remember those conversations happening. But I also think like cardio is hard as fuck. Like, especially lit cardio. Like I would be excited for like cardio meltdown, but then when lit came, I'm just like dreading it, but not in like the bad way. I'm like, I just know I'm gonna get my butt kicked, and I'm kind of excited for it, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. But also like going, I know not a lot of people, but people I talk to, they're like, oh, I only do cardio, and I'm like, lifting's pretty important for you too, because I was getting kind of frustrated, honestly, in the beginning. I wasn't losing weight, and I was like, why am I not losing weight? I'm getting my ass handed to me every single day, and I like go home, eat, and sleep. And I realized when at the beginning of this year, I was like kind of halfway trying to commit to fitness. Like I got a gym membership, and when you sign up with LA Fitness, they do the scan of like how many pounds of muscle you have on your body. And so maybe like February, I had 40 pounds of muscle on me. By the end of MM100, I had 81 pounds of muscle.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So
that's with modifications,
not just in the cardio.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's insane.
So sometimes you have to pop in like on the scale victories.
Yeah.
And just to pop in on the opposite end, I know Alyssa said she does wear a tracker. I have been there, like I've had Apple Watch, Fitbit. Back in the day, I used to wear literally a chest strap on me that was like a watch that connected to it. I've had all those, and honestly, I have not used one of those in years, you guys. And I will say that it's because I'm somebody that like obsesses over things like that. So if you feel like that's kind of where your mindset goes, I would just say forget it, because just like it's like 100 days, and if you are committed to showing up and doing the workouts and showing up equally for your nutrition, that's so, so important, you're going to get the results, and your success in 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, whatever it is, like, isn't going to be based on a number you see on your watch as far as like calories burned on a certain day or anything like that. So if your mind is kind of like how I am, it's like you would just take that energy that you just had from an amazing workout. And then if you're a person that would look at it and go, oh, I thought I was going to burn more, just don't wear it, because you did get a good workout if you showed up. If you showed up and you press play and at bare minimum you followed the bare modifications, and if that's all you could do, fine. Like, you still showed up and you're moving your body. So don't like base your worth of your success of that day off of a calorie burn. I don't count calories. I don't look at calories burn, nothing. Like, I just keep moving forward.
Yeah. And just a fun fact, for those of you that don't know me, I went to school for exercise physiology, so I love this kind of talk. But on the days that if you do track, I do completely agree with Katie. If you're going to obsess over it and it's going to put you in the wrong direction, stop. But if you're just curious and you're like, why didn't I burn that many calories? On a weightlifting day or on a day that you're laying down, you're not going to get your heart rate up as much as you would doing cardio. You're not jumping. The heart rate's going to stay pretty steady. And most of the times, especially if you're like laying down, or if you start and stop, your heart rate's not going to get very high. So you're not going to burn very many calories. But throughout that 24-hour period, you're going to burn more calories on the day that you lifted weights. On cardio days, you're going to burn a ton of calories during the workout, and you're still going to burn more during the day, but it'll be a little more steady. So that's why, like, one thing I will say I obsess over is I've got to close all 3 of my rings on my watch. And my rings were at my move calorie, if you guys have Apple Watches, was always set for 600. And some days I'd be like, oh, I only burned like 120 or 200. I would hit 600 no problem every day. So if you guys are worried about that stuff, you're going to be fine. So, but we kind of went on a tangent.
Yeah. It's okay. Also, like, on the obsessive side of things, like, I would be that person. I'm not really that way. I think just because I'm in a better mindset and like coming from a different place, but I know past me, I obsess over the scale. Like, that was my thing. So like, if you are one of those people, I would just say throw the scale away, because you're gonna feel your results. You're gonna see them. You don't need a number to tell you that you're changing. So that would be my little bit about obsessing over things.
Can I say something real quick, or ask something real quick?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'm like super, super excited for this. But I've hit plateaus and stuff, because I don't know if like having the babies back and back or whatever, but like I would do really, really good, and I stayed at that weight, and I let that get in my mind, because I was like starting to feel good and eating good foods and whatnot, but my weight wasn't like declining, literally, but my legs were looking amazing. So I don't like, I let that get in my mind a lot, and now I'm like scared, because I'm not where I want to be. But my transformation, like, I don't know, is Tara on here? I'm not sure, but if she's seen, like, she could probably say, like, from where I was like a month ago to this now, like, my weight really hasn't gone down, but you can definitely tell. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good though, Kayla. You'll find that a lot of people are just gonna have different transformations, whether it's numbers or pictures. So, Siena, did you guys take like before and after pictures? I know they talked a lot about the wardrobe, which is amazing. But did you guys do before and after photos?
Yes, we did. I don't know when those will be released, but we did before, halfway, and after. So
Exciting.
Stay tuned. But also, like, I think people don't go into this being like, oh my God, I'm going to have this amazing physical transformation. Like, everyone's body reacts differently to different programs. And I don't think basing like your appearance or like your appearance on everything, like, I think if you're feeling good, you're fueling your body, you're doing the right thing, I don't think you need to put a timestamp on your body saying, I need to be at this goal at this point. because your body is going to do what it does naturally and get to its natural healthy weight and healthy state if you're doing the right things for it.
And the last official question I have, and then we want to open it up for you guys to ask whatever you have for the few minutes that we do have left. So one thing that customers will ask me is, 100 days is a lot. They're dealing with the 100 days just fine, but they think that they need to do more. So 20 minutes, it feels like it's not enough. And we all went through this with Transform 20 where we were like, trust me, it's enough. And one thing the test group all said in that first phase was, I need more. It wasn't enough. And then the same person that said it the next day was like, oh my God, I can't move my arms. So what would you like to say to the 20-minute time frame and to the, how the workouts progress and just.
I promise you it's enough. Like, it will be enough. It is enough. I don't understand those people that can be like spending hours in the gym thinking like your workout doesn't need to be your whole day. It doesn't need to be your whole life. It's a component of your health. And I don't think time-wise it needs to take up a bunch of time. So if you can get the same work done, get the same results in 20 minutes, why not take it?
Yep.
Like there was days where my arms were just like noodles. I couldn't walk. And I was like, what are we doing today? Especially downbeat and then Fight Club. Like I wanted to like super get into kicks, but then I'm like still feeling downbeat. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
So also taking care of your body after for like recovery is super important. Even, the stretches at the end of the workouts are great, but if you need more, do more stretching so that you're helping your muscles for the next day.
Yeah. And you can do Revive any day, correct?
Yes. Revive all day, every day. It's amazing. It will never be a bad thing for you.
Truth. All right, guys. Well, we do have about 5-10 more minutes left. Does anybody want to ask any questions here? If you're afraid to ask on the mic, you can type it in the chat box. If you don't want to type in the chat box and you want to just talk out loud, make sure you unmute the microphone on the bottom of your screen. Don't be scared. All right. Well, all right.
Nothing? Nobody? Any question? I'm here for it.
Even fun ones.
Yeah. My favorite color is teal. My favorite movie is Breakfast at Tiffany's. I like to put a little bit of chocolate in my coffee.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what's your favorite, like, weekend treat or anything like that?
I'm a chocolate kind of gal. I don't super love, like, fruity things, like anything chocolate. There's a brewery down, like, the street from my house that has the most amazing mud pie you will ever have. And, like, that's my, like, go-to if I need something, like, super sweet.
You have to look up the recipe for banana honeymoon pie. It is with the chocolate vegan Shakeology. It is so good, and I have made it for multiple family affairs, and I do not tell anybody what's in it because it's so good, and none of them know that it's semi-healthy.
Okay, I will definitely have to look that up. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Okay, question for you guys. I'm not super familiar with, like, I like use the regular Shakeology. Do you guys think the vegan one has a different texture to it?
I personally do.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I said I think it does. I think the vegan I prefer vegan over whey, but I think it's creamier.
Okay.
Yeah, I think vegans. I drink vegan as well, and it's I consider almost lighter even.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was always curious because, like, I've never been vegan. I've raised miniature dairy goats, so we usually just use our dairy goat's milk for, like, all our stuff. We make yogurt and chopsticks and cheese, so, like, that's always been kind of part of my life. So I'm, like, curious what the other side looks like.
Yeah, I'm not vegan by any means, but Way and I aren't friends. So I stick to the vegan, and everybody around me is happier for it.
I'm so pumped for the vegan beach bar too. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
That'll be really exciting. Okay, funny thing. So in the back on the set, there's like the beach like bar boxes, and we had a fan going, but I didn't really know the fan was going. So one day I'm just sitting on set waiting for everybody to come out, and the box just falls over, like nothing touching it, no one around it. And I was like taking a video at the time because I was like, oh, look, it's set. And then like I stop and the box just flies off the shelf. And I was like, well, that's it. We're haunted. I'm out.
And the studio wasn't air conditioned, right?
No, we had like, it wasn't like air conditioned, but we had this like really big like tube that came in to blow cold air. I actually have a video of Kenny like diving into the tube, like feet first, and then like the wind is just blowing up his shirt and his hair, and it's kind of majestic.
Well, his hair is majestic, so that's appropriate. All right, so we've got a couple questions here. So someone said, I missed the beginning of the call. Did you share your results, what your results were with the modifiers? So I know you had said at in the middle there that you were borderline diabetic before MM100. That's a big marker there. Were you able to get like the A1Cs and things like that checked yet to know if you're still?
I haven't gone back to the doctor yet to see if I'm borderline diabetic. Where I live is super small. Like we have one football field for our 2 high schools. We share home base, like that kind of thing. So getting into our doctor's office, I literally have to wait 4 months to make an appointment.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't gotten that done. But like I said, I went from 40 pounds of muscle to like 80 something pounds of muscle. And that's kind of what I've been basing it on. I only lost like maybe 3 or 4 pounds, but like you'll see my pictures. There's definitely a physical difference that you can see. And then like after we stopped filming, I lost another 5 pounds because once you have all that muscle, like things just keep going. So
that's amazing. And then somebody else had asked, and congratulations for that, because that's super cool. Crystal had asked, even with bad knees, do you feel like somebody could do MM100 with you as the modifier? Because she's not sure how intense it'll get even with modifying.
Okay, so my best friend earlier this year had knee surgery where they literally took one of her bones and like cut it from where it attached at the knee and like moved it over because her kneecap kept slipping out. And she's going to do this program with me. So if you have knee problems, always be aware and listen to your body, but you can even modify my modifications if it's too much. One thing I would say, if you're on your knees a lot, maybe have some sort of padding. If you have a towel, foam is always great, like, you know, the little gardening foam pads. Because when we're doing like the scorpion like leg races, being on that one knee a lot can hurt a little if you don't have like something under there to like brace yourself with. Definitely foam, extra towels, a mat, something would be great.
That was good advice. Thank you. Well, all right, guys, it is 9:45 and it's 6:45 out on the West Coast. So
yeah, sun's still out.
I know. Well, you're lucky. So enjoy the sunshine while you can. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Good luck to you for round 2 and good luck with coaching. And this was so awesome. Thank you.
I was so great to talk to you guys, and I'm really looking forward to everyone doing the program and getting melty with us.
All right. Well, all right, guys. If you guys need anything, I'm on Nikki's account, but my name's Alyssa Spears if you need me in the launch group or any of the team pages. And let's do it. Let's all get crazy. So thanks, guys. Everyone have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.